summarize this chart, you have to give the information in a very short form. In how many words? 150 to 170 words. You cannot write less than 150 or more than 170 words. Clear? Okay. So this was my chart. How many charts you can see here? How many bar charts? How many graphs? This one? Plus it is term. I have to write down. Okay. So you can see there is a picture, and this is the description or question of your this task. So the bar chart or the chart below shows information about changes in average house price in 5 different cities. So this actually shows the changes in what? House price. In how many cities? 5 different cities. New York, Tokyo, London, Madrid, Frankfurt. Blue for New York, then green for Tokyo, and blue dot for London, and Madrid with red, and Germany, purple, right? Okay. So between 1990 and 2000. So what is the your time period? It's 1990 to 2002, but it's divided into era. First one is 1990 to 1995, and then 1996 to 2002. Clear? So you can say that there is 2 graphs in one picture, and you can take it as a one picture, one graph also. Okay. You just have to compare them, and these prices are compared with the average house prices in 1989. So our zero line is the 1989 price. Okay, it starts from 0. If something goes up the 0 mark, then this is the increase, and if it goes below, then this is decrease. Okay. Summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparisons where relevant. You have to complete this task in 150 to 170 words. Your time, you can say, time will be 30 minutes, and you will get 5 to 8 minutes to think, and you will spend 25 to 22 minutes to write it down. Okay, clear? So what was the structure? Do you remember the structure?
Introduction.
Body paragraph 1 and body paragraph 2. Okay. So first we will write the introduction, and then overview, and then body paragraph 1, and then body paragraph 2. Okay, this was the structure. So you have to write all of it in how many words? 150 to 170. Okay, you have to remember that I cannot make introduction a large one, like for 50 to 60 words. You cannot write like that. You have to complete your introduction in 10 to 20 words, okay, approximately. And then overviews in 10 to 20, and you can write them in an elaborate manner, but not this. Okay, so let's see how we can write the introduction. Okay, so how was the process? What was the process? Tell me. At first, we have to find out the keywords. So first one, this is the chart. So you can say the chart. This is my first keyword. Below shows information about changes in average house price. So you can say house price change. If I say, what is the purpose of this graph? You will say to show the differences in house price. So this house price term is really important. And then comes price in 5 different cities. So you can write down the names also. Between 1990, this was my time period, to 2002, compared with the average house price in 1989. So this is my base year. You cannot, you have to write it down. You can skip it. Okay? Okay. Now what is the task to write an introduction? You have to use these 5 words to make a sentence. Okay. Maybe you can do it in 1 sentence or in 2. Can you make 3? Can you make 3. If you're writing 3 sentences with these words, then this will be a big, introduction. This is not the proper way because our words are limited. Okay. So this is our introduction. I made you write it down the last thing. The chart provides data about the average house price of a house in 5 selected cities over the period from 1990 to 2000 in comparison with the respective average house price in 1989. Now we will see that does it make sense? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Does that paraphrase the question? It does. Okay. So we will see if we have all the keywords. If you skip 1 or 2, then this is not your proper introduction. You have to say what you have in your hand. Okay. So first it was the chart. The chart provides data about the average house price. So it's also there in 5 selected cities over the period from 1999 to 2002 in comparison with the respective average house prices in 1989. So we have covered all of our keywords in the introduction. And does it make sense? Is it a complete sentence or incomplete sentence? Complete sentence. What if it's incomplete? You have to complete it to make a proper sentence, proper introduction. Clear? And come to the overview. What did I say about the overview? How will you write it? So how will you write your overview? Will it be 70 to 80 words or 10 to 20 words? Your overview? Your overview, should it be larger or smaller? Compact. It's kind of summary. So you can use highest 2 sentences for your overview. So it can be 10 to 20 words. Clear? So this is your graph. You can find out the big differences you can see. Okay? And then you have to write it down as your overview. So what were our big differences? That in all the periods and in all the cities, house prices has gone up. Okay. Don't go for person to person comparison. Okay, city to city comparison. Don't go for that. You have to tell the big difference. Okay, or big facts. So here the biggest fact is all the house prices with a period of time when it was 2000, all of them actually goes up, right? All of them goes up. And what was the exception? Exception was this one, but it was still bigger than our average or base year 1989. Okay, so this is our general overview. Overall average house prices fell significantly in 3 out of 5 cities in the first period. So they are saying that in the first period, 3 out of 5 cities price has gone down. Okay, and the rest too, they are having a ceiling or a very small increase.
Mention the body in the summary.
Mention the
Summary.
mention the what?
Body.
Body.
আমরা বডিতে যে ইন্ট্রোডিউস করব আর কি ওটা কি সামারিতে বলা লাগবে সামারিতে ওভার বডি হবে নাকি
আচ্ছা হ্যাঁ আচ্ছা এটা তো সামারি প্লাস ওভারভিউ সো এখানে তো বিগ ডিফারেন্স বলবো
ওটা কি ফলো করতে হবে
ওইটাকে পরবর্তীতে আমরা ফলো করলে করব না করলে নাই সমস্যা নাই কিন্তু আমি বিগ ডিফারেন্স ঘুরে ফিরে তো জিনিসপাতি সেমই তুমি ফলো করো বা না করো আলটিমেটলি তুমি ওখানেই আসছো ঠিক আছে ঘুরে ফিরে তুমি ওখানেই আসবে এটা তো এই কয়টাই আছে সো চাইলে ফলো করতে পারো অথবা নাও করতে পারো
ট্রেনিং গুলো তো অনেক ভাবে করা যায় মানে ফার্স্ট পিরিয়ডের গুলো তো আমরা কোনো ভেবে তো আবার এর সাথে এগুলো করতে অনেক ভাবে করা যায়
That's about body paragraph 1 and 2, not in the overview. Overview means whatever you are seeing from first glance. You can see all of them has gone up. আপনি এই পিরিয়ডের কথা চিন্তা করেন 2002 all of them has gone up. ঠিক আছে ইভেন এই যে এখানে যেটা ছিল আগের বছরের তুলনায় একটু বেড়েছে তো আমাদের লাস্ট পিরিয়ডে সব হাউস প্রাইসে বেড়েছে দ্যাট ওয়াজ মাই ওভারভিউ প্রথম দেখা যাচ্ছে ঠিক আছে দ্যাটস ইট So, it's not necessary that you will follow the overview out of 5 cities' average house price decreased, and the rest 2 had an increase, but not that much increase. Still increase, trivial increase. Only climbed slightly in the remaining 2. However, from 1996, house prices saw much stronger growth. Okay, though এগুলোতে যদিও decrease হয়েছে টুকটাক, not that much decrease হয়েছে, but in this period all of them actually went up. Okay, that was my general statement about this graph. Okay, now come back to body paragraph 1 and body paragraph 2. So in introduction or in general overview, did we say percentage or change? Did we say about that? Like 5% change, 3% change, did we say that? But now we will say, in body paragraph 1 and body paragraph 2, you will describe the things. And what did I say? The sequence of describing, you have to divide this graph in 2 parts. Okay? You have to divide. You can say that in first paragraph, I will explain the New York, Tokyo, and London. And then in second paragraph, in body paragraph 2, I will explain the rest too. You can do that. And you can say that in first paragraph, I will compare this graph, this data with this base here. Okay. And then in second graph, I will describe this data with this graph, this base here. Or you can say in first paragraph or body paragraph 1, I will describe this one with base here, and then in second paragraph I will explain this one with this one. Okay, it's totally up to you how you want to explain that. Okay. So this was my body paragraph 1. Can you read it out? Is there anyone who wants to read? One person. Raise your hand, please. Just read out.
House price fell between 5 and 8% compared with 1989 in New York. Tokyo and London with the largest drop being.
You have to stop here. You know the art of reading. You have to stop with your full stops. Okay? So, what is this? House prices fell between 5 and 8% compared with 1989 in the New York, Tokyo, and London. This is where you have to stop. You cannot stop in New York. That's just a comma. Okay? So,
With the largest drop being in the later 2 cities.
what is the meaning of later 2 cities? The rest 2. No, বাকি দুটো বুঝায় নাই। এখানে বুঝিয়েছে লাস্টের দুটো। এখানে 3টা সিটির নাম বলেছে, নিউ ইয়র্ক, টোকিও এন্ড লন্ডন। ঠিক আছে, আমরা দেখব যে নিউ ইয়র্ক, টোকিও এন্ড লন্ডন মাথায় রাখেন। আমরা একটু গ্রাফে যাচ্ছি। দেখেন নিউ ইয়র্কে কত ছিল? -5। টোকিওতে ছিল -8 এন্ড দেন লন্ডনে ছিল -8। সো ওরা এটা বলেছে যে এই তিনটাতে ডিক্রিজ হয়েছে, বাট লাস্ট দুটোতে বেশি ডিক্রিজ হয়েছে, কারণ লাস্ট দুটো কত? -8। ক্লিয়ার? বাকি দুটোর কথা এখন আসেই না। ওকে ওকে, তারপর on the other hand,
price in Frankfurt grew by about 2%.
Grow. It's grow. Again, though it's E, but grow.
Grew by about 2% and by a little less in London.
By little less in margin. So they say, they actually explained this first period with the base year, right? That was the comparison. So in the last 2 cities, Madrid and Germany, the price went a bit rise, but it was not that much. Okay? Okay, sit down. The confusion was GREW, right? And GROW. Same happens when you write throw. And this one. How do you pronounce it? Grow, throw. Okay. Don't go for anything else like few or through. Okay, it's not like that.
তাহলে ম্যাম আমাদের যখন ইংলিশে একটা সেন্টেন্স বলা হয় তখন আমরা কিভাবে বুঝবো যে প্রেজেন্ট না পাস্ট টেন্স আছে?
You know, অনেক কিছু থাকে মানে আর অনেক কিছু
Yeah,
থাকে।
লাইক কেউ মুখে বলে না আমার সাথে
Past
কথা
past
শুনতে
তো
হবে।
কথা ছিল না।
হ্যাঁ?
Past question এটা তো গ্রাফ তো আমাদের প্রেজেন্ট আছে।
লিখতে তো বুঝতে হবে না।
Yes, ma'am. Phil, you started the whole thing with past 5. Okay. You wrote house prices fell. So if you are starting the paragraph with past tense, you have to continue in past tense. If you are starting the paragraph with present, you have to continue in present. Okay. So they wrote fell, past, and then GREW, grow. Okay, same. So you have to continue that. Okay. So this was body paragraph 1 where they actually explained the first period 1990 to 1995 with the data of that zero part 1989. Okay. And then comes body paragraph 2. You wanted to read.
However, between 1996 and 2000, the average price in London was a huge 12% higher than the 1989 average.
Okay, can we see that? So, in the second period, 1996 to 2000, the house price of London increased 12%. If we compare this with the previous period, then it's almost 20% up. Okay?
Similarly, prices in New York were also considerably higher at 5% greater than the 1989 figure. Moreover, Madrid's house price average was approximately...
So they are explaining one by one, right? Okay.
Average was approximately 4% more than the 1989 level, more than double the increase between 1990 and 1995. Prices in Tokyo are still lower than the 1989 average, but were 3% higher than the 1989 to 1995 levels.
So let's have a look at Tokyo. The green one, right? So it was, in the first period, it was -8. In the second period, it was -5. It was still in minus situation, but from the first period, it increased 3%. Okay? Then?
Finally, while average house prices in Frankfurt remained greater than the 1989, they were a little lower than the increase between 1992 and 1995.
Okay, we can see that we are having 5 cities in body paragraph 2. They have compared all the cities with all the periods, like with 1989 and also with the previous period. Okay? Okay, that was our, this is the full thing. It will be 150 to 170 words, maybe 164 or something. Okay, so let's have a look at some words, the words that made this writing a bit different. Okay. So we can start from here. We're looking for some connectors. What are the connectors?
Ma'am, একটা question. ভাওয়েলের আগে কি দা উচ্চারণ হবে আর কনসোনেন্টের আগে দি?
ক্লাস শেষ হোক, আমি তো তোমাকে আলাদা করে যার যা কোশ্চেন আছে এখানে গ্রামার সম্পর্কে আমি অ্যানসার করে দিব। আপাতত গ্রাফটাতে কি হয়েছে একটু দেখে নিন। হ্যাঁ, রেকর্ড হচ্ছে তো ওটা তো আমাদের পার্সোনাল কোশ্চেন, বাট রেকর্ডটা সবার জন্য এটা একটু শেষ করে ফেলি। ওকে ওকে, সো প্রথম কি ছিল, আমরা এখানে প্রথম যেটা পেয়েছি লিঙ্কার্স কতদিন বুঝিয়েছিলাম। সো ফার্স্ট লিঙ্কার ইজ ওভারঅল, or you can say generally speaking. Okay, so this will give you a vibe that you are summing up or you are making a sum up or gist of the whole thing. ঠিক আছে, সবকিছু সম্পর্কে আমি একটা লাইনে কিছু একটা বলে দিচ্ছি সহজে। Okay, fell significantly in 3 out of 5 cities in the first period shown in the chart, and use করেছে। and কি এখানে again is a connector or linker, only slightly in the remaining 2. However means anyways, something like that. Okay, because in the first part we were talking about the first period, and then we're jumping to the second period. That's why we use this however or anyways. We're changing the topic or background. Okay, then comes paragraph 1. House prices fell between 5 and 8% compared with the largest drop being on the other hand. Okay. Okay. So in this part, before on the other hand, they talked about the decrease, and after that, on the other hand, they are using the increase part. So this is contrary, right? That's why they have used on the other hand. অন্য দিকে, ঠিক আছে? সেম হলে কি বলতো? সেম হলে বলতো সিমিলারলি, ঠিক আছে? বাকি দুটো তো ডিক্রিজ হয়েছে, বাট এখানে যেহেতু অপোজিট বলেছে, দ্যাটস অন দ্য আদার হ্যান্ড। তারপরে এখানে আবার এসছে কি however, এটা এসছে and then between similarly, then you can say similarly, পেয়েছেন? And then comes moreover. Moreover means we can add more, like adding এর ক্ষেত্রে ব্যবহার করা হয়। And then finally, yes. So these are the linkers used in this stuff. Like if you want to use more, you can use at the starting of this paragraph maybe. Okay? এখানে কিছু ইউজ করা হয়, এখানে ইউজ করা যায়। ঠিক আছে? যদি আপনার কোনো কিছু রিলেভেন্ট মনে হয়, যেখানে রিলেভেন্ট নাই, ঠিক আছে? যেমন আমি এখানে বলতে পারি টার্নিং ব্যাক টু দ্য ডিটেইলস। কমা দিয়ে আমি হাউস প্রাইস এটা কন্টিনিউ করলাম। সো টার্নিং ব্যাক টু দ্য ডিটেইলস মানে যে আমি এখন ডিটেইলস আলোচনা করব। ঠিক আছে? আই ক্যান ডু দ্যাট। ওকে, এটার জন্য একটা ভোকাবুলারি লিস্ট আমি দিয়ে দিব। আজকে সেটা আমি বানিয়ে নিয়ে আসছি, কিন্তু এটা আছে পিপিটি ফাইলে। ঠিক আছে? এটা এখানে ওপেন হবে না। সো নেক্সট ক্লাসে এটা ইনশাআল্লাহ আমি দেখাই দেব। ঠিক আছে? ক্লিয়ার? ওকে, এখানে একটা জিনিস দেখেন, রাইজ এবং ফলের ক্ষেত্রে ওরা কি কি ইউজ করেছে। চাইলে বারবার ফল ফল ফল, ডিক্রিজ 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 ইনক্রিজ 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 ইউজ করা যায় না, বাট দ্যাট মেক্স ইউর রাইটিং বোরিং। লাইক ইউ আর ইউজিং সেম ওয়ার্ড ফর সেম থিং again and again. Like if I say that it fell, then again I'm saying it fell, then again I'm saying it fell, or it decreased, 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 it sounds boring. Okay? So let's see for ups, downs, or something like that, what they have used. First, keep it.
And next is grind.
Okay, so first it was fell. First period shown. Did I get you? Showing the chart and only climbed. What is the difference between climbed slightly and climbed? Very trivial. Maybe if that's your data, then maybe this much. Okay? A bit up. Okay? In the remaining, however, in 1996, house prices saw much stronger growth. What does that mean? It means decrease or increase? Increase. So it climbed একটা similar হিসেবে use করা হয়েছে, much stronger growth. Then again fell use করেছে, আপনি decrease use করতে পারেন between এত and এত compared with the largest drop. Drop মানে কি? fall করা না? Decrease বোঝায় না? The largest drop being in the later two cities, on the other hand prices grow, GREW. ঠিক আছে? এখানে increase এর পরিবর্তে কি ব্যবহার করেছে? Grow by about 2% and by a little less. Okay, little less decrease এর জন্য ব্যবহার করা হয়েছে, তাই তো? Huge, huge মানে কি? বেড়েছে না কমেছে? Increase বোঝাচ্ছে। 2% higher than similarity prices and new laws, considerably higher. ঠিক আছে? Higher and 5% greater. Greater, participate. Otherwise, আপনার ওয়ার্ডগুলো ইউজ করা হবে না। আমরা তো সবাই ওয়ার্ডগুলো জানি। It's about using the words, okay? More than double. ঠিক আছে? More than double কি increase বোঝাচ্ছে না?
Approximately double.
হ্যাঁ, that's it. The increase between other prices Tokyo still lower.
Decrease.
মোর দেন ডাবল বলতে তো ডাবল এর বেশি এরকম হচ্ছে অ্যাপ্রক্সিমেটলি মানে প্রায় দুইয়ের কাছে
আমি ডিফারেন্সটা বুঝিয়ে দিচ্ছি, দুটো দিয়ে চালানো যাবে। ঠিক আছে? while average house price in Turkey remain greater. ঠিক আছে? remain greater, they were little lower. This is little lower ব্যবহার করেছিলেন এখানে লিটল কথা না little lower. Because these are the things they have used lower than the increase between. Okay, so these are the words that they used instead of writing increase or decrease. ঠিক আছে? তো এখানে কতগুলো সিমিলার আছে দেখেন fell, drop, little less, lower. ঠিক আছে? little lower. So এই জিনিসগুলো তারা ডাউন হিসেবে ব্যবহার করা হয়েছে ইনক্রিজ ডিক্রিজ হিসেবে ব্যবহার করা হয়েছে দেন climb slightly, climb, much stronger, grow, huge, higher, greater, more than double, remain, greater, এগুলো ব্যবহার করা হয়েছে. If you use the same word again and again, it means you don't know the synonyms. Okay, that's a bad vibe to your example. Okay, you have to use the similar words, synonyms. Okay, and you have to know the synonyms. And we will have another class with that. পরীক্ষায় দেওয়া হয়েছে বা লিস্ট দেওয়া হয়েছে পোর্টাল চেক করো পোর্টালে চেক করো একটা দিন সব আছে ওখানে কোর্স আউটলাইন পেয়েছেন লিটারালি সব আছে কোশ্চেন প্যাটার্ন থেকে শুরু করে সব কিছু দেওয়া আছে ঠিক আছে you have to check that হ্যাঁ পোর্টাল চেক করো না কেন তোমরা
রিলস দেখতে